With the tabletop, got a couple of options. So we set up one where you can turn it. This one we're going to route. So if you haven't got a lathe big enough to do what we're going to do, you could possibly route it. So what have I got here? We've got our board, we've glued up, I've got my biscuit marks, I've got a centre crossover mark, and I've made a small MDF carrier, which I've drilled the centre hole in. Everything up to there is pretty easy, isn't it? All right, so all we're going to do with that, I can locate it. I could go square, I can go that way. I'm going across because my pencil lines all lined up nicely. And I'm just really looking at where things are. That's good. Hot milk glue gun. I'll get myself in position. So we glued it on. We can use a nail in the middle. We're going to put a screw in it maybe later. We want to draw a circle just to give us a guide of where we can cut it out. So again, I've used my board. I go to there. I'm trying to come inside those wormholes I've got. We'll check where this is going to go measurement wise. We could always go a bit bigger. That's not bad. If I come out a hole, let's just see what we get, where we are on this wormhole around the edge here. A little bit there. Just trying to see how much sap we've got really is the sticking point between those two. A little bit there, a bit there. So we've got options here. I'm probably going to go inside just really because of the worm size. I'll cut one off, have a look, see how far it goes in. We can always go smaller. So we're going to cut the waste off and we can route round the edge in a minute to clean it up. So we got our top, we set about, we cut it out. On the back we glued on a little centre block with centre hole. Onto there I'm using one of the guide rail bars for the router. I've drilled a hole in the end of it. Just a simple little hole. And then put a screw right in the middle. That fixes it, that gives me a pivot point that's now central. On the bench, got to set this up, we're going to use router to run round. I want to be elevated off the bench slightly, so therefore the cutter's not going to mark the bench. So I've got 3 UJK anti-slip feet. We can adjust the heights of these. Put that on. That's not too bad. I want to make sure it doesn't move while using it. So you either need to clamp it down or something. On this case, I'm going to use a couple of toggle type clamps on here. Look, let's bring them to there. If I put 2 in, should be enough. I can bring this one up, bring that height up. That's good. Just enough just to provide a bit of grip. Tighten him on there. Oh dear, what's happening? That's better, no movement. So now I know when we're on here, things will come round. The last little bit, yes, we can move in a second. Straight 1/2 inch diameter cutter. Lots of strength in that. Just going to drop it back down. Okay, now, so next little bit, we've got to set our cutter depth. It's got to clear, in reality, just the bottom of the board. So I'm just having a look at where I am. Not bad. I'll come up a little bit, that would be good. So I'm just sighting through from underside, checking the cutter's going to go all the way through. If I turn the cutter body, and at this point, we've got no power, all right? That's important. Just going to turn it sideways so I'm hitting the main body, not the cutter knife. If I undo the fence bolt, slide that in, so now we make contact with the body of the cutter, not the knife. The knife overhangs by about 1 millimetre maybe. All right? So that's given me my start point. I can bring the height back up. I've reset the depth stop, so all ready to go now. So now you've got it round and nice and round and clean. You can have whatever you like now. We could do a chamfer, okay? We could do a round overcut. Either of those would work quite nicely, Alright, we've got the bearing guided cutter so we can run on what you've just got this round. If you did that before, just off a bandsaw cut, every little nick that the bandsaw's left behind, you will feel with the cutter and it will leave an indent. So again, you can work in the same sort of way. You can take light cuts measuring off the body, so the overhang is doing that 1/2 mil, 3/4 millimetre cut per pass will give you a cleaner finish. Especially if you're coming end grain, side grain, end grain. Got a mixture of grain pockets on this, right? So quite easy then to add something like that.